So I'm going to go over some Tyrese Haliburton clips and how he scores at a pick and roll. I think he is one of the most craftiest guards at a pick and roll, and his ability to get his shots it's pretty fun to watch. So we're going to go over some clips here. So this first clip, we have him coming off a pick and roll. Now, Lou Dort is one of the best defenders, right? And it's fun watching great players, how they score off great defenders. And so he's coming off this pick here. And the first thing that you have to know as a guard coming off the screen is, how is your defender guarding you? Is he going over the screen or is he going under the screen? And you also need to know what the big is doing. So in this case, the big looks like he's retreating into a drop. So a drop is when you want to have the offensive player make a decision while he's being chased over the top from his defender, right? So he doesn't want him to get to the paint, so he's dropping back. So as he's dropping back, here's Haliburton's reads. He's reading this 2-9 guy right here. If he's there, he might have a kick to the corner. He's also reading what this nail guy right here is doing. Is he tagging? That's when you kind of get in front of the roller for a second. And he's also reading these two guys right here. So you have short amount of time to make these decisions. So he's going, the big's in a drop. He doesn't want to give up the lob. Now, since the 2-9 guy isn't there, and he's there kind of late, Haliburton sees that lane and uses a scoop layup, right? Keeping the game simple read, layup off the top. Now, these are high difficulty shots, but he works on them. So Lou Dort wants to pick up Haliburton in transition, but as you can see, there's a big here kind of waiting for that screen. So if you're a guard and you're getting pressured full court, just have your big be around, be nearby to set that screen to free you up. Most of the time, the defender will be looking for the big and they'll just continue to back up like they do here. Anyways, so they set a high early on ball screen, right? So Lou Dort just goes under. Now, a read that they teach you in pros, even in colleges, if a defender goes under the screen, the big wants to re-screen, right? So now because you want the defender to try to fight over, because what they're doing here is they want to get the switch. So the big re-screens, now they got the switch. They got their best defender off their player. Now they're going to get into the on ball. So what is Haliburton seeing here? So he's coming off this on ball, and as you can see here, there's an exchange. So these guards are exchanging because you want to keep the nail and the 2-9 guy, right? These two guys right here, you want to keep them kind of looking around for their players while the on-ball screen's going. Now, Haliburton, I guarantee you he notices that Lou Dort's head's turn, right? So he rejects this screen. Now, when the screen is rejected, here are your reads. If Lou Dort comes over here and is on the nail, Haliburton would kick it out to his guy right here. And if Caruso down here is in the 2-9, he'll have a corner three. Now, as he attacks, Lou Dort does get there, but this is where skill comes into play. A simple move to get over that help into the layup, right? So he's making the read, rejects the screen. Lou Dort's there, hard pound, up high pickup, layup, keeping the game simple. So we have Haliburton in transition here, and they're going to set an early drag screen again. The defender gets over, right? Not much going on there. Defender's over, the big's in a drop. Now, sometimes in the flow of the game, as an offensive player, you just make incredible shots. And in this case right here, Haliburton comes off the screen. The big's in a drop. And Miles Turner is popping to the three-point line. So if Haliburton doesn't have this shot, more than likely, he has Miles Turner here for the pop. But like I said, sometimes you're in the flow and you hit these kind of floaters like this. This is just what bucket getters do. So we have Haliburton again, shaping up from the corner at the wing. Now, as an offensive player, if you can shoot the ball and you work on these shots, whenever you see your defender's hands down, like Haliburton sees his defender's hands down right here, and the screen's coming, Now, you have to be a good enough shooter, but you can shoot these kind of shots, right? Because the defender thinks that you're going to come off the ball screen. And whenever you see those hands drop for a split second, just rise up into your shot and shoot that shot. Let's go over one more clip here. We have an early on-ball screen to try to get that switch. Like I said, they try to get the best defender off of Haliburton. And now he just makes his moves, right? Comes off this screen, gets the switch. Now, SGA thinks this on-ball screen's coming, but Haliburton does a great job at rejecting screens. So he sets him up, rejects the screen. There's no nail guy here because he's worried about the shooter. And the 2-9 guy is also worried about the shooter. And whenever you reject a screen, it's harder for that defense to get set. So he rejects the screen, simple floater.